Hi, this is Allie from Allie Katz Crafts. I'm here to bring you a video with the Paper Pumpkin July 2026 Hooray for Birthdays kit. This is a kit that you get delivered to your home once a month, but you have to order it before the 10th in order to get it from Stampin' Up. You will make 9 cards with this particular one. 3 of this one, 3 of this one, 3 of this one. You'll get a stamp set that says Hugs and Wishes, Hooray, Birthday Wishes, It's Your Day, some flowers, some little stems, and also these little dots that go inside and hashtag. You'll get a stamp ink spot, tear and tape, dots, that's like little tiny dots to glue things with, and some dimensionals. And you get some stickers that say birthday, happy birthday, and hooray. So this is a really neat thing. You can do the card just as this, do all the cards that way, or you can do what I do. I make alternatives where I take bits and pieces from each thing from one of them. I could use one piece in there and use that on a whole card. So tonight we're going to make 2 cards and we're going to use a few things from here again. Not everything. So I'm going to start with, I have this cherry blossom stamp that I've had for a long time. Okay, it's a red rubber stamp. It looks like this. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get my black ink out. And I'm going to ink it up really good. So I'm going to get it on here. And this pad is a felt pad. Not a felt pad. It's kind of felt, but it's not a spongy pad. And it's an old Close to My Heart one. And as you know, that Stampin' Up! And Close to My Heart have merged together. So we're going to get it inked up really good. Okay, because we're going to stamp this on a piece of 5.5 by 4 1/4. So we're going to stick it down like this, and we're going to give it a good rub. So you're going to just give it a nice little rub. Okay? Because you want to transfer that ink onto this piece of paper. Okay, and then you're going to lift it up very careful, and we have the image perfect. A little bit black there, but that's okay. We can take care of that. So we're going to I'm going to temporarily clean it off because now you could do it the other way. You could take and put the stamp like this and do it that way on top. But this one is not a Stampin' Up! One. I love this. This is one of my go-to stamps that I use every so often from mixed media. I use it a lot in mixed media, let's put it that way. The next stamp you'll see that I use it quite a bit. I even use actually paint for it. And it still works like a charm. So we clean that off pretty good. And we can take it to the sink because that's a red rubber. And it just sticks on here. I just take and rinse off in the sink. So I'll set that aside. The next thing what I wanted to do is I'll grab my cutter. Okay. And I want to make this 4 inches wide. So we're going to take and cut off that little mistake area. That's why I said I'm not worried about it. And then we're going to take and we're going to measure this over so it's about 4 inches. It might be a little bit smaller, no big deal. Let's go a little bit smaller. Let's keep it at that. Okay, so there we go. So now we're going to do this at 5 1/4. Let's go a little bit shorter because I want to get right to there. So I'm going to go 5 1/4. Right there. So that's the size we want. Now, if I wanted to, because I didn't do that ink there, I could have went over further here, but it's okay. So that's the first one. So let's go ahead and stamp the other one so we know, so we're all taken care of. So I'm going to set this aside. This is a cherry blossom one. I love this one. Okay, now I'm going to grab this one. This has a bird, a fence with a bird and a cute little yellow, well, birds. I colored them yellow. So, and I use this for mixed media, as you can see. Paint is stuck in there, but it still works like a charm. Do not worry. Watch and see. That's the thing about these red rubber stamps. It goes really deep down in. And they last forever. Seriously, I've had this thing for at least 30 years by now. Well, 2004. How many years is that? 22 years. Sorry, I misspoke in there. So I'm going to pick a side and just kind of stick it down. And I'm going to press it down. And just hold it in place and just kind of move it around. And it is red rubber, so you don't have to worry about it causing any trouble with not having a foam surface under it. Get it all transferred over. You lift straight up. Oh, and I messed up. Look at that. I didn't press in the middle. We could do that over. That's what's nice. Two sides of the paper, right? So you know what? With that said, I think I'll just get my foam just to be safe. Sometimes it's, even though it doesn't really need it, we'll do it anyways. And I didn't press very hard either, so that's the problem too. So I'm going to put this down again. Get where I think I want it. And it's not going to be perfect. You're going to cut it down. Okay, this time I'm going to make sure that I get it pressed in the middle really good. Learned my lesson there. Let it transfer. And lift straight up. And there is a good image. Now I have a marker that I can take care of that. I didn't press there very good. So I have this cute little marker here. This is the beautiful thing. It's a art liner. Stampin' Up! Has one too. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a little bird head. And I'm just going to take and go all the way around it. So the whole thing's outlined. So it looks like it's supposed to be that way. There we go. So there we go. There's the two. The next thing I'll be doing, I close my ink because we don't want to get in trouble. I remember I told you about the ink. I have ink problems. This one requires, I always put my scissors in it like that. There we go. Now let's grab something to clean my fingers. I see there's black ink on there. Okay, there we go. Clean it off. I have my paper towel, or I have a washcloth next to me also. So the next thing I want to do, we're going to do some coloring. So I have my crumb cake, which I've already put out, and I want to color the fence. So let me pull it in a tiny bit so you can see. There you go. So I'm going to start at the top. It doesn't matter where you start, to tell you the truth. I am just going to color this fence using my crumb cake. And I use the dark. I took my label maker because I got tired of not seeing the name. See how tiny that is? But there, man, it just stands out. I don't have to sit there and search for my colors when I go in my drawer. So I continue to color this, okay? We're not going to color all the way because I already have one colored. I then used dark Old Olive. I'm just going to show you what I did so that you know. And over all these little leaves, I colored them olive. Dark Old Olive. I like this color for a lot of my cards. I tend to go to this. So then you pick out the color I picked for this particular one, and I'll show you in 2 seconds. Let me just color a little bit more here so that you can kind of get an idea of how I did it. So I first I did the actual post. I colored all of this post first, okay? Now you can do whatever you want. It's your card. If you have the stamp, you can pick any background stamp that has flowers in it, and it'll work for you. So I just took and did that, and then I took and colored all the leaves. Then I grabbed my fresh freesia, and that's what I colored the flowers with. For some reason, I thought it was going to be pink, but it ended up being a cute lavender. I was like, oh yeah, that's my color. So I colored all the flowers like this, okay? And I grabbed my Old Olive again, the dark Old Olive. Went over these cute little branches. There we go. Then I used my dark Daffodil Delight, and that's what I colored my birdies with. That's the color they all became. So I went down and did all my little birds. Just like that, okay? So here's kind of what I did. So you can see it a little bit up closer. So let's see, the fresh freezer, the crumb cake, Old Olive right there, and there's the Daffodil Delight. So that's that one. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. I actually finished it, except for I did not do the Mossy Meadows. I need to finish that up. So you can see how it looks so far. It's pretty, huh? A little bit close there, wasn't I? Sorry about that. So now, let's continue with those. We need to color all those leaves. I thought I'd save time by doing this, because I sat here for a while doing this, and I thought, oh, I should just have almost all of it done so they could see it, see the process, and you guys can go home and do it yourself. Or you're at home, obviously. You'll do it yourself. Like I said, just find any background stamp that has flowers, and this will work just as good. And I pulled some stuff out of the kit for this. I'll show you. So it'll be a true alternative. So I'm going to take and do all my leaves. I figured this would be better if I did this so you guys don't have to worry about watching me color. Sometimes it's not fun to watch someone color. So I left a little bit so you could see, but not a whole lot. Just go along to all my little leaves. And I use the blenders because, yeah, the spaces are small. I could use the regular ones. But I didn't have a very good crumb cake in the markers. I didn't like how it looked. So I did it in a water-based ink so I could use the blenders. I've got a lot of the blenders I've been really working on. Every time I put an order, grab a couple more. I love those markers. I'm sad they're no longer available. But if you have them, use them. So I hope all of your days are going good today. I've been a busy bee. I'll be leaving for kids camp on Monday. Today is Friday. Getting prepared. And yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I love doing this. So if you're praying person, please pray for the kids and us to have a good time and just learn more about Jesus and just enjoy themselves. That's the idea of camp, just having a good time and spending time with the Lord. There we go. So that is done. The next thing I want to do is I want to glue this down. And this is, and let me get my ruler out to make sure I tell you exact measurements. I'm pretty sure it's, 4 1/8, like I thought, by 5 3/8, just like I thought. But I like to make sure, sometimes I do a little bit different depending on the situation. So, and I was going to glue this down first, and I thought, no, I'll just do the coloring. I think that's better to get a lot of that done. So go around all the edges really nicely. Put a little bit in here. Bunch of dots and swigglies. And it's going to be just a tiny, about an 1/8 of an inch border, so to speak. So we'll move it around, get it right where we want it. It's nice and even. You're looking at all the edges. You're looking here and here and seeing where it goes. And then we'll press it down really good. Okay? I'm going to set that one aside. Okay, and then we're going to do this one. But first we need to do one important thing. We need to put some balmy blue ink on it to give it the background. Here it is. So I have my balmy blue ink, which I put right. Here it is. I stuck it over here. And my brush. And I want to make all this a pretty blue. So we're going to take and just bring it in. Start off and go on. Give it a nice blue color. And it won't affect the ink at all because I use darker inks. Even the pretty Fresh Frieza will not be affected. Now, if it was yellow ink, I think it might be, but we're not going to worry about it because I think it'll be fine. I've done this technique before. I just kind of avoid going right over the yellow. See how much better? See how, look at this. See how that's whiter? And has a little blue tinge. Gives a little extra prettiness, so to speak. And I'm making sure that I go right around these edges really good. Just like this. And I'm avoiding the bird a little bit, not trying to go directly over it, going around it. Okay, almost done. I want to get this little edge here so it looks really nice on the edge. Okay, there we go. That is, so far, our card. The next thing I want to do is I want to stamp the sentiment on it. I'll move this out of the way and this. I'm going to grab this. We have a white piece of paper and a black piece of paper. Depending on your sentiment, that's where you're going to stamp. You're going to do it, okay? I don't know what you're going to use. I am going to use, from out of the stamp set that came with this, Hugs and Wishes. So I'm going to grab my black ink again. But I want to use this because it's very, it stands out. The one that my friend Lori gave me, Obsidian pigment ink. And remember, what do we do with this? We have to wait. So we're going to take and put it right here. Make sure I'm in the picture. I'm going to take and stick it right there and hold it down for a second. Do not push any harder anywhere else. Just do nice even pressure. Pick it up and set it aside. So I have another sentiment that I want to put on the other card, and I'm going to do the same thing. I have to find where I put it. I thought I stuck it right here. Oh, here it is. Stuck it up here with the card. We're going to do the same thing so that I could and we'll let those sit for a few minutes. Close our ink so we don't get our hands in it. I'm going to grab my little, see, I already got ink on the table there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm Messy Marvin. Trust me. See, I have ink right here on my finger. How about that? I'm learning a lot of things about this whole thing. So let's just set those aside, let them dry for a few minutes. Okay. Let's open the inside of the card and the inside of the other one that we haven't worked on yet, but let's just do the insides of the cards while we're waiting for that to dry. That way we can multitask. So I'm going to use, may the comfort of God's love fill you with hope and peace. Now let's back this up a tiny bit. There we go. I like having that close so you can see, but I don't like it because I don't know my spacing. I tend to forget it. Okay, so let's grab this one again because it doesn't smear. Okay, and then we'll take and put it right here. Even it out the best you can. I moved it. I'm pretty sure I moved it. Not too bad. I got a little thicker up there. So there's that one stamped pretty good. So let's do the next one. That one turned out really good too. Perfect. That makes me happy when it happens. The only thing I don't like about this one is that it's hard to get it. I have to use my scissors to open it up a little bit. So let's grab my little cleaner and clean this off. While we're waiting for that ink to dry, we will just do the inside, right? So next thing I want to do, I want to grab my Fresh Freesia ink. That will be on this card. Yes. We're going to stamp some flowers on there. I want to use this flower this time. There we go. So that's the inside of that one. Okay, let's do the inside of this one. And I want to use, where's that? Barely Blush. I knew I had it. Barely Blush will be on this one. So let's clean our stamp really quick. There we go. Barely Blush is it's really light. I can't even see it. Wow. No stamping off for this one. I haven't used this one evidently. Or I have, but I just don't remember. There we go. There we go. That's the inside of that one. We'll do the envelopes later. Everything should be dry now. Clean off my stamp, so it's ready to go for the next thing. Now let's glue this right here, but let's take and trim it off. And I want to make it a little flag. Or do I? Yes, I do. On this end. Then I want to cut this off right here. And glue it down to that little piece. Let's move that stamp out of the way. We'll glue it down right here. Just a little bit of a black border. That's all we're doing. And then we'll trim it off so it's nice and even. We'll give this a flag at this end. There we go. So that is going to go right here. Or maybe down here. I'm not sure. Or maybe up there. Let's make it shorter. I think I need to go a little bit so it's not so thick right there. There we go. I like that better. So let's put it Hugs and Wishes. You can put it down here too. Yeah, but it doesn't cover my thing then. I like it better down there. And again, this space is empty. That's what I was kind of thinking up here. But I don't want to cover my bird up. So let's do it. I'm just going to have to do it right here. I think right there would be nice. Let's do it right there. I know I don't have to worry about that space because my butterflies are going to go there. I almost forgot about my cute little butterflies. So let's put it right about here. Okay, now we can glue it to the front of the card. I wanted to make sure this was on this edge, so that's the reason I did it before. See all the ink that I've been using. It bleeds through the blenders. So let's put this on the front. Do the best you can to get it nice and even. It's going to be like an 1/8 of an inch border again. And see how that black makes it pop? That's why I did the black in the background. So we'll take and just put this down just like this. Last but not least, we have one more thing to do. Let's set that over there. We're going to need that. Move that over. I punched out some cute little butterflies. Sparkly butterflies. Now, I had a whole bunch of them. I don't know where they went. They were sitting on the card, and I don't know where they were there. Trust me, they were. There's proof. See, I cut them out. The question is, where did they go? Just had them. Oh, here they are. They fell off the card. I knew I had them. So we have some cute little purple butterflies that I want to put on here. So I'm going to give the wings a little touch there. Kind of helps them go up. Put glue right down the middle. We'll put one right there. Okay. We don't need any diamond dots or nothing. No embellishments, because these butterflies are the embellishments. And the sparkling paper is not Stampin' Up, and I'm so sorry. However, when I do the next card, that is retired Stampin' Up paper. And I love this stamp that I use. I was very happy to get it out. It's nice to get your old stuff out and use it. Use it again. If you get paid for it, why not, right? So there we go. This could be a sympathy card. So let's do the next one. So now we're going to do the same type of thing. And I did already make one. But I'm going to show you how I colored it. Because I did something a little bit different on this one. Let's see, I want to go from that side, right? Which side do I want to come from? I kind of want to go that direction, so I'll do this. We do our little flag up the middle and up down each side, and that's our flag. Then we're going to take this and we're going to glue it on the front with this little strip, and you'll see why. Because that's the background paper I chose for this one instead of black. Oops. I want to move over a tiny bit and just like scoot it over really fast. There we go. So that's that one. So I'll set that up there for now. We got that finished. Okay, so what I did for coloring was, this is what I got out a lot of blenders. Those ones. So, and then I used my Daffodil Delight. I did the Daffodil Delight in the middle of all these flowers. That was the middle of the flowers. So I went through and did all these. So that was the first thing I did. So I went through and did that, okay? Then, we'll just pretend I did them all. Then I grabbed out different ones. I should start with this one, SU 1000. Yeah, 1000. Oops. I'll use the bullet point. And I randomly picked different flowers. So I just picked this one, because we're going to put several on them so you have dimension all over the place. Just pick some. Now I did the bigger ones in its own color. I did do that. At first color, I kind of did like the ones that are kind of folded up like this or flying away. Just because. I don't know, I just did. I just picked a flower and that's all I did. I mean, you could try and do them all the same, which would look fine. But I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. Okay, so I just did that. That's all I did, okay? I set it aside, then I went to the next color. And I did dark, barely blush. So I thought, maybe I'll do the big ones with this. So I started doing these. You just pick one. I didn't stamp on that one. Now, if you accidentally stamped on one side and you do it again, what you do in the markers, don't do that. Because the black will show through. Just FYI, I found that one out. So if you're using blenders like that one that I did, it didn't show up, but normally it would. And I didn't think about telling you that until I was doing this one and realized, oh wait. Just little information. So I went along and I did the big ones. I just picked a color, and they're slightly different. They're different shades of the pink. And that's what was fun. So I'll say that one. So then I decided that I wanted to use Bubble Bath. So I grabbed the Bubble Bath out, and I picked some flowers for them. And you'll see that the flowers are just a little bit different. But it's not a big deal. The whole idea is they're in the same color family, but yet they're different. Okay, so we'll just do a few more. Because you know they're going to be different, right? And when I show you the cards, you'll see what I'm talking about. So then I grabbed another one. And this one is pink, light pink, pretty and pink. Now some of these, I've gotten some labels on them, but some I haven't. I'm going slowly doing that too. See how this one's a little bit different? And that's what's really cool. Do one up here. And if you didn't color in yellow in the middle, you can go back and do that. That's not a big deal. So I'm going to grab something else. How about light petal pink? Oh, that one's pretty different, huh? But it looks pretty. Has more of an orangey color, this one does. And now let's do dark petal pink. We'll put that over here. And this one's even more orangier. Okay, so let's bring in another darker one. Let's do the Bubble Bath. I like the Bubble Bath a lot. So let's throw that in over here. Now remember, these colors will lighten up as they dry. And I discovered that. That's sort of those, it's okay they're slightly different because they all are in the same color family. So I'm going to show you this little corner that I did so you get an idea. Then we'll go to the card. So here's a close-up. See how they're slightly a little bit different? But they all go together. They blend. And it makes everything stand out. Like this one will stand out more. And that one stands out more. Gives it depth. That's the word I'm looking for. So there you go. So I have already done that with this one. I finished it. So, and then I picked out some old retired paper. I think it's called a marbled paper or something. So we have our card base, which I got wet. Don't want that. Let me see. No, it shows through. Can't use it. I can use one side later. It's not a big deal. I have more cut and ready to go. Normal card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Let me double check. Yes. We're going to glue that one down first. And then we have this one that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So you just cut it however big your stamp is. That's kind of what I did, so I just kind of did that. Then we have 5 little butterflies out of the Stampin' Up! Retired paper. Need to go on the front. So let's take and glue this down first. See where I did all the yellow? Nicely bled through. You know it's doing its job when it bleeds through. And this, I don't know what color this is, but for the background, but it goes with this. It's not exactly, I think it's more of that Flirty Flamingo color. No, not Flirty Flamingo. Petal Pink. So this is going to go on the top, just like that. And that brings out all the different colors of the pinks that I chose. So I could use that side too, but I wanted the other one, it was a little more brighter. And it is retired paper. My upline, when I first started, I go, do you have any extra paper that you don't want so I could do some stuff? She goes, yeah, she gave it to me. And I use it sparingly so that I could keep it around because it is a good background. And if you take your punches and punch out stuff, it's perfect for butterflies or whatever you want. Put that on just like that. Where's my sentiment? And there's my sentiment. I already have it cut and ready to go. We're going to put that right about, let's put it up high this time. There's, and I hope I have to restamp the inside of this one. Put it right there on the white. There we go. Because this one, that wasn't even the card base. Where's the card base that I actually had for this? Huh. That's crazy. Here, I thought that was the one. That's okay, though. So let's do our butterflies. Let's just do our butterflies and not worry about it. Put one right up here. There's a little bit of ink there, so that works out good to cover that up. Anywhere you have like an imperfection, that's where you want to put it. So we're just going to put them all over this card. Kind of like you're doing the dots and all that other stuff, the embellishments that Stampin' Up! Has. That's kind of what we're doing here. We're using the glittery butterflies, which makes it fun. Okay, last but not least, I have some bows that I got out of the twine, out of our kit, and I'm going to put that on the card. That's the last thing. And then we're going to restamp the inside of this one, which it's silly me, I don't even know where I put it. I did not get that dot off. My dear friend Lori gifted me the dots for my seniors and myself, and I love them. There we go. And then we'll put one for the other card. Put one right down here. Okay, that adds a little extra to the cards. I like doing bows. So there's our cute little cards. So let's redo this, I guess, because silly me, I did a mistake. That's okay. It is what it is, right? So let's, and we'll put it right here. It's hard to see with the wood stamp, it's even. There we go. Had this ink for a long time. It never goes bad. Ink doesn't, which is really nice. Clean off my stamp, of course, right? Last but not least, let's grab our Barely Blush and we'll stamp some flowers in here. And then we can do our envelopes. There we go. That's perfect. I really like these cards. A lot of coloring. If you like coloring, it's the perfect card. Trust me. It's just fun. I'll grab a couple envelopes. And we're going to do some stamping on them. I don't know why. Oh, that's a weird stamp how that worked. Not that one. So let's do this. Let's put. I have to make sure I do all the edges because if I don't, I end up messing up. I get excited and don't do it all. Okay. There's that one. Then we'll get our fresh freesia for the other card. And I'll bring out my stamp again that says Hugs and Wishes, and we'll stamp it right on the front of the card. Let's clean off the stamp. I'm gonna go for the fresh freesia. Okay, there we go. Let's just stick it full strength. Okay. There we go. That's perfect. So let's get our black ink out again one more time. Clean that off in a minute. Hugs and Wishes go right here at the bottom of my card. There we go. That is our 2 cards today. Let me make sure I don't have any ink on me. Hugs and Wishes. Beautiful stamp. I used the twine from the kit, the stamp, the sentiment, and these are the stamps from the kit. And I used, that was off of the envelope, which I forgot to mention. Yes, that was the envelope piece. No, this one was envelope piece. That one wasn't. That's what it was. And same thing here, but I did use the twine. I used the sentiments. I used the flower stamps. So everything that I need to put in there, I put in there. At least one thing. So here's the 2 cards. And there's the envelopes. Let me turn it like that so you can see. And thank you for watching. Please like and share. I appreciate that. That helps me. And if you are interested in purchasing anything from me, go to stampinup.com and look up Find a Demonstrator under Allison Clark in Nocona, Texas. I'd really like to help you out. Now, I'm trying to get a mailing list together. I would like to send you cards. The cards that I make, I like to send them out to you. If you could email me at this email address and give me your name and your home address, I could email you stuff. I will not share your address with anybody. Do not worry. Okay, just email me, put in there a mailing list in the top so I'll know who you are. Because sometimes I don't open up because there's a lot of scam people out there. But if you don't put email list, then I won't open it and I will never be able to send you a card. And I want to do that. So have a wonderful day and thank you. Please like and share. Bye.